Okay, my name is Dale Anthony Wilhite. I live here in Telluride, Colorado for a few more days. Uh, you can find out anything you would like about me on MySpace. And this concept pitch, which is actually dates way back into the 1990s, is called a child support insurance policy. And I know it kind of comes across as kind of odd because this is a concept that probably no one has ever pitched before. And it's kind of off the wall a little bit, like a number of my concepts. But with careful consideration, and if it were to really be examined by a credible insurance company, this concept could become a reality and would work. And it would save a lot of kids from entering into a life of poverty or falling deeper into a life of poverty. I won't go into all the details about child support and the problems that comes with it. Everyone knows that it's a very difficult problem to deal with. A lot of people don't pay up when they're supposed to for obvious reasons. Sometimes it's just because they don't want to or they won't take responsibility. But there are those men and some women who are ordered by the courts to pay child support who truly cannot because they may be too sick, they may not make enough money. I can remember a friend of mine, or actually a co-worker in Florida once, back in 1983 I think it was, who had been married to 3 different women and had children with 2 of them. He was not only having to pay alimony to all 3 of these women, ex-wives, but also child support to 2 of his wives, or in their case, I don't know how many kids he had with each lady. The poor guy couldn't even afford a newspaper. He had to live at home because he couldn't pay for all this stuff, you know. And he was broke, you know. He just can't go down there and go to McDonald's and buy a hamburger. This guy he was just, you know. I'm surprised he didn't take the gun and blow his brains out. He was in a really difficult situation, and these ladies were asking things from him that he just really couldn't give them, and so they just took whatever they could get out of him, and it left him with absolutely nothing. So sometimes, though, there are people who just can't pay up. I'll make another example. Maybe that father or mother who's been ordered by the court to pay child support is in prison, or again, is so sick they can't work anymore, or I'll say again, they just don't have a job that pays them any money to where anything they send is going to be worthwhile. So, based partly on that, I came up with an idea that might solve this problem a little bit. Everything helps. There needs to be the creation of what I call a child support insurance policy. And that is where a married couple or a soon-to-be married couple can purchase an insurance policy. This is before they have any kids. And they may be able to purchase it even if they have kids or have kids from someone they're married to before. Where in the event they get divorced, and there might be like a 3-year waiting period, you know, before it would be legitimate or kick in, but they could purchase an insurance policy, a child support insurance policy, that will make it possible for the mother or the father to receive insurance payments, child support payments from that insurance company in the event there is a divorce, and the mother or father, whoever's ordered to pay the child support, truly cannot because they're in prison, there's just no job. Of course, if they don't have a job, it'd be up that insurance company to help them get a job, so they don't have to pay any more money to the spouse that's been has custody of the kids and has to pay the child support and receive the child support. Or if that person is just too sick. There's many reasons why, and it has to be a case-by-case thing. And actually, a judge would have to make that determination. A judge can say, okay, the person I'm ordering to pay child support truly cannot. I'm hereby ordering the insurance company to pay child support for a certain period of time. And again, if that person it is because they don't have a job, well, then that insurance company, it would be in their interest to help them get a job. That would be one way to do it. So anyway, that's what it's really about. I won't go into all of the details because I don't have time to do that. I only have like 10 minutes. I can pitch my concept on these videos. I just wanted to give you the foundation of the idea, and you might want to, if anyone that sees this might be in the insurance business, or you might be a politician, especially a state politician. This is something you might want to really consider. And of course, you can always reach me here through MySpace if you have any questions. But we could help a lot of kids. How can I put it? We could prevent a lot of kids from going into from living a life into poverty, or slipping down further in poverty, as I said at the beginning. This is an anti-poverty concept. And to those who say that they are for human rights, and to those who say that they really want to make the kids' lives better, like Obama claims he does, well, this is one way to do it. It's not going to help all kids, but it will help some. And just because a man and woman divorce doesn't mean that kids should have to suffer any more than they're suffering when their parents do get divorced. You know, and their lifestyles could be taken away from them, you know, financially, because mommy and daddy can't get along no more. It's just barbaric, and it doesn't have to be. So please pitch this concept. Anyone you can polish it and pitch it probably better than I can. It's just, it will work if we can find a credible insurance company. That's the difficult part. This is not to be federally mandated. This is not a federal issue. The government has no business involved, and I certainly don't want anybody in Washington involved. This should be a state issue, and the state should get with the insurance companies in their states and try to put something like this together. But let it happen in the free market, not run by the states themselves. That's a bad idea. There is a cap on it. There is a time limit on how much payments can be paid out, and that has to be taken case by case. But anyway, it would take a judge to order an insurance company, which would say that this person, basically all the judges saying to the insurance company, this person qualifies. And the person that's been ordered to pay child support cannot. So that's basically what my concept is. You know, my birth mother, when she would, you know, had me when she was like, what, I think about 16 or 17 or something like that. She had 3 kids altogether, and at the age of 21, she was divorced. Had 2 of my brothers and I in Las Vegas, and she tried to raise us with no skill, almost no job, and she worked some time for Bill Boyd at the Stardust as a keno runner, and eventually later on she committed suicide. But she ended up in jail because she robbed a motel room. Actually, my brother and I were with her, and I was only like 3, because she had no support. She had nothing, and if she was getting support from her husband, Gus, or ex-husband then, it wouldn't have amounted to much. It would have been like minimum wage, and it just wouldn't have been enough. And I also believe that my concept can save some women, and even men, and even children from living a life of crime to make ends meet. Anyway, I have to stop here because I know this tape won't run much longer. But it has an effect that goes beyond just making out payments. It has a psychological effect that could take just a tiny bite out of crime and can save some kids from a lot of misery. This can work. But again, I'm not in a position where I can pitch the idea where it needs to be pitched, and that's higher up the, this is, say, in Washington, although I prefer this to be a state issue, not a federal issue. But it needs to get attention. And one good, credible insurance company that would take a chance on something like this would be a big step. So if you can pitch this, letter to the editor, says keep it on the internet, just do whatever you can, and maybe this can become a reality. Thank you for your time.